and welcome to this week's segment of Transformation Tuesday Beachbody Edition. Today we have special guest Chelsea Sternke. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, that's correct.
Awesome. So today I'm going to be asking Chelsea some questions in regards to her Beachbody life and how she got started. So let's start with the first question. So Chelsea, how did you get introduced into Beachbody?
Well, I got introduced into Beachbody, I think it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I was watching TV actually, and I'm a sucker for infomercials. I don't know why, they just get me. And an infomercial came on for the 21-day fix program, and I was like, oh my God, that looks pretty legit. So I Googled it to learn more about it, and all of the reviews I saw on it were actually really positive. So I purchased it, and little did I know it was a gateway into a whole other world.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I'm personally a sucker for infomercials too. I mean, who isn't nowadays? They're so catchy.
Right.
So that's actually an interesting start. So, so you started off as a challenger, or did you jump straight into coaching?
I started off as a challenger just because I had purchased the program on my own. Nobody had reached out to me to join. So I was randomly assigned to a coach. And then I guess I started out that way as a challenger instead of a coach simply because I didn't know about the coaching opportunity.
Okay. So then, so how long have you been a part of Team Beachbody then?
I've been a part of Team Beachbody since I had purchased that first program, the 21-day fix. Yeah, I think it's got to be at least 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay. So I'm having a hard time reading here, so I'm going to put my glasses on. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
They have an awful glare. So the way you started then was you were randomly assigned to a coach. So it wasn't like you signed up with somebody that you knew. So being that was the way it is, did you ever feel like giving up? And then what did you do to keep yourself on track?
I definitely felt like giving up, and I actually did give up a few times, probably more than a few times. And I finally, I guess, stopped giving up when I got to my aha moment. And that moment was when I found something that would keep me on my wagon. That's been how I've, been kind of going through my business as a coach, is like, keep me on my wagon. I'll help keep you on your wagon. And that moment actually was when I decided to start coaching. I figured I can't help other people if I don't help myself first.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I want to delve into this aha moment. It's actually something that I've been hearing quite a lot with Beachbody. So just so people kind of understand it's self-explanatory, but some people might need to actually hear it. What is the aha moment?
Well, to me, the aha moment is like when, I don't know, you finally realize, I guess, I don't know how to put it. You realize that, at least in terms of Beachbody and your health and your fitness, my aha moment was realizing that my health and my fitness and my desire to help people is stronger than my desire to give up or my need to give up when the going gets tough.
Okay. So then it's almost like that moment when you wake up and realize this is it, this is what I'm doing, time to commit.
Right, exactly.
Okay. So now, what fears did you have starting out, and how did you overcome them?
My biggest fear when I started coaching was having to post my journey, talk about my social media. I was afraid of people, and I don't know, I've always been a really reserved person, and putting my journey and my life out there terrified me. So the first time I ever posted a progress pictures, I think it was after I did the 3-day refresh. I was so scared because my body wasn't where I had wanted it to be. and it wasn't where I felt ready to share, but it was my coach, my sponsor coach at the time, told me, like, you don't need to be afraid. You need to share your journey and share your struggles, not just your triumphs. Like, you need to be open and be vulnerable, and people can relate more to that than to a person who's like, oh, I lost 30 pounds and I never had any problem doing it. Like, they need to be able to relate to you on some level.
So then the biggest struggle for you then was just showing people basically what was going on in your day-to-day, that it wasn't just all sunshine and daisies and rainbows.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
Okay. And then, so who's been your rock throughout this whole process?
Has been my sponsor coach. She was the coach that I was randomly assigned to when I had purchased the 21 Day Fix program, and she has she's honestly changed my life. She never gave up on me when I gave up on myself, or when I wanted to give up on myself, and she made me realize that I want to be that person for other people out there that are looking to change their lives and their fitness.
So I know a lot of people, when they sign up the way you did, they get assigned to a random coach, and I've heard some positive and some not so positive things about that. So for someone who's signing up the way you did, who's getting a random coach, what would be your best suggestion as to make sure that that works and that they're not going to have to, try to find a different coach? Would you suggest maybe reaching out to them to make sure that they're on board, or would you suggest something else?
I think I got really, really lucky in the coach that I was assigned to. But I guess my advice would be, if you were to purchase a program and get randomly assigned to a coach, I think it's fair to ask them flat out, like, I'm going to need your help on this. Like, you're my coach. Are you going to be there for me? Are you going to be able to help me the way I need, at least in the beginning? And I would hope that whatever coach that they were assigned to would be able to be honest with them and be like, you know what, things are crazy in my life right now. I can't give enough to coaching that I would like to, or, let's hope that there's no coaches out there like that.
Yeah, well, we would hope that the coaches would at least let them know, and maybe try to refer them to somebody better. So for someone starting out, which program would you suggest to be the best one to start with?
I would definitely recommend the 21 Day Fix program for someone just starting out, partly because that's the way I started out. I just really feel like it's kind of foolproof when it comes to, learning about the portion control aspect of BeachBody. And I think the workouts are hard enough to where, they're hard enough to where you feel yourself being challenged, but they're not so hard that you want to give up. I feel like if they were just that hard out of the gate, you wouldn't want to keep going. At least I wouldn't. And plus, it's Autumn Calabrese is the trainer of that one, and she's my favorite, so I might be biased. But if I had to pick out a program that wasn't one of Autumn's, I would suggest Shift Shop. I think Chris Downing is the trainer on that one. That one is even easier to follow the portion fix plan, because he literally gives you shopping lists and recipes. Like, you need to eat this meal at this time on this day. It's just, it's not much easier than that.
So then with that one, it's just everything is laid out on the table for you.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that's I think a very important question too, is a lot of people don't know where to start. And I think those are two programs that would definitely be beneficial for someone just starting out, just because it is easy to follow.
Right.
So what advice do you have for new coaches?
I think the most important thing I could tell new coaches is to take time for yourself. Personal development is one of the most important things as a coach. So I think taking time for yourself and, I guess learning more about yourself and taking the time to learn about the programs, learn about Beachbody. I think I tried to take on the world when I first started, and I got overwhelmed, and I actually kind of stopped for a little bit. So one thing that's really been helping me is I build myself a schedule. If I didn't schedule in time for Beachbody and coaching, I wouldn't do it. So I would think, I mean, it is a job. You need to treat it like it's a 9-to-5 job. I give myself about 2 hours every day to dedicate to coaching, whether it's connecting with people, building my network, checking in on challengers, and things like that.
Okay. So that's actually really good advice then. Because I do know that a lot of people who start off and they just jump into coaching and they think it's a get rich quick scheme. And I think a lot of people don't understand that it is a job and you do have to work. And then, so as far as the personal development goes, what are a couple of the personal development books that you've read that you think would be beneficial for new coaches?
I'm reading this one right now. It's called Unmess Yourself, but the mess is kind of, a bad word. So we'll just call it Unmess Yourself, but it's get out of your head and into your life. And I think that is really beneficial to me because I'm so in my head. So I've learned so much in that book so far, and I'm only like 3 chapters in.
Oh, wow. Okay, so then unmess yourself. I'm sure that's a different word there in that spot.
Yeah.
But we'll go with unmess yourself. I'm sure people will find it.
Yeah.
So then the second to last question I have actually is for people who are interested in joining Beachbody, either as a coach or a challenger, but are kind of still hanging back. They're not sure if they want to spend the money. What is your best advice towards them?
My best advice would be to just do it. There's always going to be a reason not to do something. So in order for you to be successful as a challenger or as a coach, you need to make it fit into your life instead of the other way around. I think that's part of the reason why I failed so many times when I first started as a challenger on Beachbody, not even just as a coach, is that I would find all of these reasons and excuses not to start. My birthday would be in the middle of that program. I have to celebrate. I'll just start after, or I'll start after the holidays. Well, I learned that after never comes. It's never going to come. So you just need to start it and then learn how to build your fitness into your life. And I think that makes it sustainable is if you learn to work around the reasons and excuses that you have not to do it, you're going to be more successful.
And that sounds like very good advice.
Mm-hmm.
So my final question as for the interview segment is, so what do you feel you love the most about Beachbody since joining?
Apart from changing my life, like physically, I'm getting more and more healthy. My favorite part about Beachbody is all the amazing people that I've been meeting and all of the support. You're never going to be alone or without support if you join Beachbody, whether it's as a coach or a challenger. I always have people checking in on me, making sure I'm doing okay, making sure I'm staying on top of my workouts and my nutrition. I mean, there's always going to be people there to help me with my struggles and help me celebrate my victories too.
That's awesome. So yeah, that's a really great thing to have going for you. So my last question, and this wasn't on the interview transcript, but my last question is your part right now of the 80-day obsession, just craze that is just sweeping the nation. And I kind of wanted to see what is your take on that so far? How are you doing with the program? What's your favorite things? How are you doing with nutrition? Just kind of all around, how are you taking in 80-day obsession?
I am in love with it. This is the first program that I've stuck to 100% on the nutrition, the workouts, everything. I have not cheated on my nutrition once. I have not missed a workout once. And at first I was like, 80-day obsession, that's kind of a goofy name, but we'll go with it. But it's become my obsession. And I don't know, I love this program so much. I love that the time nutrition is laid out for you. Like, I was afraid that I was going to fail at the time nutrition part, but it's like, oh, you need to eat this food at this time. You know, it's not much harder than that. And I get bored quickly with workouts. So the fact that it's 80 different workouts is huge, because I'm not bored. And I'm always sore because you're always working different muscles.
Yeah, I've definitely been aware of that.
Yeah.
So what, I know I don't want to be, have any spoilers going on here, but I know you're in the coach test group.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that in there you guys are having your progress photos and stuff like that.
Right.
So if you don't mind, little spoiler for the end of the interview here, can you maybe tell our viewers and readers approximately how much of a change you've seen since starting with 80-Day Obsession?
Sure. So I just weighed myself again last week, and I'm down 19 pounds total. So that's from day 0 to, what is today? Day 57 or whatever day I weighed myself. But I'm down about 19 pounds and almost 14 inches total around my entire body. So
wow. That's a huge difference. That is a huge
I know.
difference. I mean, that's a couple of pant sizes there, isn't it?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome. So I know that 80-Day Obsession is just kind of sweeping everything.
Mm-hmm.
Do you plan to do another round of 80-Day Obsession at the end of this, or do you plan to take a break or go to a different program?
I'm definitely going to do another round of 80-Day Obsession. That's without a doubt. But I think I'm going to not take a break necessarily, but I'm going to try out a different program before I start my second round of 80-Day Obsession. And I'm hoping to bring more people along with me on my second round, just because I'm living proof that it works. You stick to it and it's going to work. It doesn't matter who you are. So I just want to share this with as many people as I can, because it's amazing. That's
awesome. So one last thing before we go, and this really isn't too much of a question, but it is kind of a question. If you could get one message to Autumn directly to her, and also your viewers and your fans at the same time, what would that message be?
If I was talking directly to Autumn, like, the message I want her to get is just thank you. She's literally changed my life with this program, and I can't put into words how thankful I am for that. Like, it's a life-changing program, and I just can't believe she was able to create something like this. It's spectacular. So I would want to tell her thank you.
That's awesome. And then what would you want to tell everybody else who's viewing this that's not Autumn, because Autumn's one of the creators. So what would you want to tell everybody else, current coaches, challengers, not current, just everybody out there? Not just about 80-Day Obsession, but just in general, what message would you want to send to women and men across the country? I would probably take it back to just do it. There's always going to be a reason not to do something, but if you keep giving into those reasons and those excuses, you're never going to start. You just need to start and work around those reasons and excuses. So just do it. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Chelsea, for being my special guest for this week's Transformation Tuesday. For those of you who are watching this or who are going to watch this, you can check out the blog with the printed interview. The link is going to be in the comments, and I hope you guys like it. If you're interested in being a Beachbody coach, you can shoot me a message. If you'd like to sign up with Chelsea, let me know, and I will connect her to you. Thanks again, Chelsea. It was great having you, and thank you to all of our fans and viewers. Yeah, thanks for having me.